#1 Rangers podcast. Make sure you tune in to find out all the latest news. Let's go Rangers.
Blueshirt Underground, motherfucker!
Can't BS a Ranger fan. Can't BS a Ranger fan.
This is an unlawful gathering. This is an unlawful gathering. The truth is out there. The truth is out there.
This is the underground. This is new media. This is the underground. This is new media.
Ranger fans, report to the critical thinking hangar. Ranger fans, report to the critical thinking hangar.
And now here is the starting lineup for the New York Rangers. And now here is the starting lineup for the New York Rangers.
This is New York Rangers hockey. 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 This is New York.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Blueshirt Underground Radio. Today is Monday, February the 24th of the year 2020. My name is Jim, and as always, I am joined on the other side of this window here on YouTube Live by the one and only Eddie Geik. Eddie, it is Monday night, and you know what that means.
The New York Rangers, once again, having an awesome trading deadline here in the year 2020. Shay, no stay. Go away. And then followed by the re-signing of the gritty one. The one in front of the net, Mr. Tippett. Mr. Streaky, maybe not so streaky, signed to a 20-year deal at $8 million. No, little less than that, 7 years at $6.5 million. The New York Rangers succeed in not doing anything dumb. Now to you, Frank.
Beautiful intro. Beautiful. Good evening, everybody. Look at this chat room is jammed. It's crazy. Everybody, as soon as we open up the show, there are all these people commenting already. They're going crazy in here.
Everybody has their favorite like little clip so far. People are starting to like somebody likes Graves. Somebody likes the Elias Anderson falling down during the introductions. So even the intro is getting famous.
Yes, the intro. I think my favorite part right now of the intro is Sam eating the pizza, and you can literally see the food circulating in his big, gigantic old mouth. It just chunks of pizza just stick to his bridge. Oh, I love it. I love it.
I certainly try to not. I look away from the screen when that's happening. Actually,
oh, not me, not me. I'm glued to the whole thing.
I like the critical thinking footage from like the 50s.
Yes,
the
that's
40s
too.
when we started, like the United States started interning Japanese people. I don't know what that's from, but it is a hangar of sort.
Yes,
I hope it's not that kind of man.
Yeah. It's
anyway,
it's like a practice zone for Yucca Flats or something.
Yeah, something's going. Something government like is going down there, man. What a day! What a day!
What a day! And as is, I think, as we all know, in our lifetimes as New York Rangers fans, as fans of this team, as devoted as we are, that there is no such thing really as just one completely 100% good day. Every ray of sunshine that comes with being a New York Ranger fan also has to come with at least a half-hour thunderstorm. In this case, it is Igor Shesterkin. This guy just got to America like 8 minutes ago. What's he doing driving around Brooklyn? I'm almost 50 years old. I never got behind the wheel in Brooklyn. What's he doing?
It's a little thing called Uber. You two idiots. I mean, this guy comes from Siberia. Now he's taking Bucci on a freaking tour of Brooklyn. I mean, I know these guys like debauched over there in Brighton Beach, but get somebody to drive you around. I mean, what kind of sense do these kids have? We're in a stretch here.
Booch was driving. Chris Johnner says Booch was driving. That's probably, I think that is correct.
No, it said Shesterkin was driving. I mean, that's what I heard.
I don't know. What are either one of them doing driving? One makes $3 million a year. The other makes, I don't know what Shesterkin makes, but.
Well, he's a goddamn goalie. And we were thinking about trading our other goalies, and he's got to get hurt, which affects everything. There should be a no driving clause on the day or the day before the trading deadline for every Ranger for now. I mean, it's an absolute wacky situation.
We're in a playoff push here. We don't get time for nobody to get behind no wheels of no cars. I don't want any of them behind the wheel. They should all be riding in like an armored van. Everybody gets like one armored van picks everybody up.
Was he?
It was Igor.
Well, was it? I'm glad it didn't end like Pelly Lindbergh.
Everybody's got a different opinion as to who was driving. I even somebody said Vaclav Nedomansky was driving.
Yes. Well, there's been some memes across the internet that have been real funny. Has Henrik driving the other car?
Right. Yeah. Yep.
Every Uber driver I get speaks Russian. Tell me they couldn't get Russian. They couldn't get a Russian-speaking Uber driver, Michael. Come on. What are they doing? They got to drive?
Joy riding around Brooklyn. We're in a playoff push. Where are they going? Where are they going? Spumoni Gardens? They going to Howard Beach? Is that? It's out that way, and is that Brooklyn? Is that Brooklyn, Queens? Is that where?
Howard Beach is not Brooklyn.
Is that
Brighton Beach?
Brighton Beach. That's what I'm thinking of. Isn't that where all the Russians go? Brighton Beach.
Oh yeah, yes. Yeah. That's where they were heading. I guarantee.
Doesn't Tolyan, our buddy CCCP, isn't he a limo driver?
I have no idea.
I thought he used to be a limo driver. Can't he schlep these guys around? All right.
Exactly.
We have a special surprise here, and he's already here. So we're gonna put the brakes on the driving instruction here. Let's bring on our guest. Although he's a semi-guest. We haven't seen him in a while. Ladies and gentlemen.
Wow, look at this young man.
The voice of the New York Metropolitans.
Where?
The one and only Colin Cosell. Colin, good evening. It's good to see you.
Good evening. It's good to be seeing this new format. You guys are trendsetters.
Isn't it beautiful? We're still in the front of everybody. It's beautiful.
You would be. It's fantastic. What a quiet day, huh? Nothing really to talk about.
Yeah. Yes. So what are your feelings? What's your grade? What's what is it? All right, then let Jim, you ask him what I asked him.
You can't hear Eddie?
No, but I could do some lip syncing for him. Damn it!
All right. Eddie wants to know your thoughts on everything today.
I think I'm in the minority when I say this, but I'm actually I'm content with it. I think Kreider has developed into a role that I don't think any of us foresaw coming, and has grown into it as a leader. I would put him up there as a possible captain candidate.
Saw a lot of that today. People said now that he's signed his contract, let's give him the C.
Yes. Good. I'm glad people are agreeing with that because I kind of avoided social media after the extension because I knew it was going to be a mishmash of people either going ballistic or celebrating it. Of course, everyone thought it was too long, but I'm like, we'll jump off that bridge when we get to it because I think now, obviously, with the Igor, the non-NASCAR driver that we thought he could be, he with that injury that solves our goaltending problem pretty much for the rest of the season, so we can jump off that bridge when we get to it. Give Hank maybe a proper send off. Maybe he goes on a tear and we get some playoff experience for these young guys. But all in all, I'm happy with it. I thought the Gauthier signing or trade was phenomenal. The fact we got a first rounder back for Shea, I think is fantastic. It's all a part of this rebuild. And by the way, we're barely 2 years into this rebuild. And I may be in the vast minority when I say this, but I firmly believe that the Rangers are going to be true cup contenders, if not cup winners, in less than, I'd say 3 to 5 years, but I'd say 3 years realistically.
What do you think of that, Eddie?
All right.
3 years. I'll sign up for that, right?
He can't hear me.
But I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Colin says 3 years. 3 to 5 years of winning a cup. Signing up for that?
I'll sign up for that.
We've only waited 25. What's another 3 or 5?
Yeah.
Oh man,
I think that's
26. It's frightening to believe, but
yeah.
But yeah, no, I think we're right on the doorstep. I think Shesterkin is obviously the future. Panarin is a superstar. Zibanejad is right on his heels. Kreider is taking the leadership role. Suddenly, I hated Tony DeAngelo. Suddenly, I kind of like him. Fox has suddenly come up to be a great member of our defensive core. And is it me, or does Mark Stahl just look like like Rip Van Winkle?
Tormund.
Like
I would say
it's just this old man that's just lumbering around. It's like having an old haggardly Great Dane with a bunch of puppies nipping at him, and he's just like, "All right, kids, whatever." Like he'd have a cigar hanging out of his mouth every time. Like
the family business that he just shows up every day. He doesn't really work there anymore, but he still shows up. Yeah,
it's like, "Hey kids, how's the business doing? Do you mind if I take a shift real quick? I got some bills to pay."
Yeah, he's got like the demeanor of like Bub from My Three Sons.
Defenseman, isn't he?
William Frawley. Sorry.
And he said he's like William Frawley in My Three Sons.
Like Bub.
Bub.
This is where I'm really upset I can't hear Eddie. I'm trying to read lips too, and that one would have been impossible to read.
Yes.
It's like, wait, did he just make a My Three Sons reference?
Yes.
That's when I read those lips.
Yeah. We put out a glossary after every show so people could figure out our 50-year-old references.
I was going to say, you got some kids, like if my wife were to listen, she'd be like, that was on Nick at Night, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
So,
all right.
Anyway,
so
I've actually been avoiding social media when it comes to the Rangers because I'm sick and tired of the negativity. It's been that way for the past 5 years since our last, run to the Cup for the Cup in 2015, obviously coming up short. And then the past 5 years have been utter heartbreak. And, Rangers fans, much like Mets fans, we all just thrive on negativity. And we can't have like nice, shiny, happy new things. But I think we finally have the opportunity here to have some glimmers of hope. I love JD at the helm. I love this youth movement. And I feel the same way about the Mets. I really believe that they upgraded their bullpen. I hate the fact that MLB put us as number one to finish NL East. We're going to win the NL East. I'm like, shut up. Don't talk. Don't do that. Pump the brakes. Excuse me. But there's now reasons for positivity in New York sports that don't pertain to football or basketball.
Right. Our chat room here in the YouTube, they're remembering your great story about your grandfather and John Van Beesbrook. That was always a great story.
Yeah,
Can you give us that one again real quick? I know you've told it once or twice, but for the new, it's been a while.
For
the video audience,
YouTube as we go too, because I want to be able to partake in this. But when we turn Howard into a hockey fan, he latched onto the Rangers real quick, and having a photographic memory, he latched onto the players real quick. And I remember him being really disappointed that Beezer, and me to this day, it still breaks my heart that Beezer and Gartner didn't win the Stanley Cup that year with the team. But one thing Howard really loved about Van Beesbrook was his nickname. And he, to get a rise out of us, and he got a kick out of as well, he would just go around the house and start chanting, "Beezer! Beezer!" pizza, and then just to make sure we didn't lose him completely to hockey, he'd throw in an Ali Boomaye just to make sure we knew where he came from. But yeah,
That's great.
That's very funny.
And
believe you weren't anymore.
there you are.
So yeah, that was. Oh, there I am.
Yeah, you froze for a
All right,
second
now
there.
now I'm on. Oh, sorry.
That's
but yeah,
okay.
that was it. It was all Howard. And behind me, by the way, are a bunch. I'm in the TV room, but my mom has decorated it to have all sorts of Howard memorabilia. So that's what's adorning me. He's
Oh.
looking over my shoulder right now as I make fun of him.
Nice.
Yeah.
You're not really making fun of him. You're just recanting a good story. That's all.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah. Doing the imitation, which I've done countless times now for years. And it used to annoy me. I was like, God, can I just be my own person? Now I'm like, well, you know something? It kind of ingratiates me with my peers in the industry. Like if I run into Kenny Albert or Bob Costas at Citi Field, I instantly get street cred because of my grandfather, and they'll do an imitation. Then I'll do it back at them, and they'll see that I'm better at it, and then we're friends.
Right.
Ask him who's the best at it out of these Alberts.
But yeah. Anyway,
Eddie wants to know. Eddie wants to know when these guys come up to you and want to do their own Howard impersonation, who's the best at it besides you?
Oh man, that's tough. Because I got to say, Costas did a pretty good one.
Right.
For a man that was a full 2 feet shorter than Howard. It's really he's able to make that voice much bigger. It's very impressive. So yeah, Costas was pretty darn good. Kenny Albert, not so much, but that's okay. And Howie Rose actually kind of like pseudo attempted it. But as soon as he does it, all I'm hearing is Matteau. So,
right.
And by the way, on an aside, like of all the things that have come out of this job with the Mets, the one thing that blows my mind the most is forging a friendship with Howie Rose. And we were in a rain delay last, I think it was early May. Had to have been, and NHL playoffs were on. And I've become friends with Howie's daughter, Alyssa. So she was there doing some social media work for the Mets, and I shot her a text and said, "What are you guys doing for the rain delay?" She goes, "Actually, Dad and I are sitting here watching the playoffs. Come in and hang out." I'm like, without thinking twice, I'm like, of course I'm going to go in there. And I'm just treating it like, yeah, I'm going to hang out. And then I sit down and we're talking shop, and all of a sudden it hits me. I'm like, I'm watching playoff hockey and talking shop with the greatest call in Rangers history.
Right.
Sitting right there. And I'm like, that was like a real pinch me moment. But
yeah.
But then he tried to imitate Howard, and it just sucked the life out of the room. No, I'm kidding. It was amazing.
That's great.
Yeah,
so okay, so you're excited about the Rangers. We've got you're guaranteeing a cup in 3 to 5 years.
Yes.
What
I think it'll be the 30th anniversary, so 2023-24.
Yes, that would be the 30th anniversary.
So let's mark it down.
And we'll drag Matteau out on the ice one more time, and we'll have another ceremony, and Messier could cry, and we'll play all the clips, and Sam will still be there.
Sam will never leave. They'll be using Sam's nose as a ramp for the cup.
That should be your next job. You could do play-by-play for the New York Rangers.
I have a feeling Kenny's going to be taking TV, Don LaGreca is going to be taking radio, and if they would even just have me on as a sideline reporter, I would be honored.
They can't let Giannone have that job.
I can't say anything bad about JG. He's
I know.
Such a good guy.
Not on the show anyway.
You have a memory that I cannot.
I don't forget nothing.
No,
that was a great story, though.
God, it gives me the sniffles just talking about it. So it's an allergic reaction I have. So there's
right.
But harkening back to Matteau,
what kind of snowblower you get us mixed up here, Seinfeld?
So sorry. Let's go back to Matteau for a second. Can you imagine scoring one goal in your entire career, and you have an entire retirement of people ogling you, and wanting your autograph and your picture and getting like extra FaceTime and some extra money thrown at you from the Rangers for one goal.
Right.
The man scored one goal of importance. And
Well, it was two in that series, actually. There were 2 overtime goals in that series that he scored. But, that's what Eddie and I have always said.
No one forgets the first one.
Eddie and I have always said, you talk about players and, we always talk about Rick Nash and how, he never succeeded in the playoffs. And that's where you make your bones. And I always go to Stefan Matteau. I said, he scored those 2 goals and made an entire life out of it. I mean, nobody would know who he was. If not for the, and now, because the legend has grown, people think he scored 30 goals in those playoffs when it was really just those 2 or maybe 3.
And the funny thing is, I still couldn't pick him out of a lineup after 94. Right. I know him better now in the aftermath and the celebration of the 94 Rangers than I did during the run in 94 when I was 15 years old, perfectly cognizant, will never forget what I was doing, where I was, the feelings, the sensations, the time, the day. It was Friday, June 14th, 10:53 p.m. All of that is with me until the day I die. But now I know a grizzly, older Stefan Matteau better than I did the man with the fortuitous bounce and a wraparound and how he roses and just indelible call. Right. It's crazy. Someone just wrote, "I love Sam. I hope he lives forever." I know this is your show, but your take on that?
Well, Eddie and I have differences of opinion on Sam. Mine is I do hope he lives forever from a comedic standpoint, because God forbid we should ever lose things like this.
Need a rider to Joe Pesci.
Joe Pesci. Or here's another beaut. This is a great one.
Mika, that's Artemi Panarin.
Mika, that's
okay.
I remember watching that live and saying, "What?"
I'll give you one more. This is another one of our favorites. This is from Blueshirt's off our backs night. I don't remember if it's last season or the season before.
But the last home game of the season.
Right, where they give the jerseys off their backs. Now, there's a guy who's getting Chris Kreider's jersey. Okay, Chris Kreider is skating over to this guy, emphasis on guy, and giving him his jersey.
All right, she already has a Kreider jersey. Now she gets another one.
And then,
did you alter that?
Actually, that's just our soundboard. I keep forgetting to fix that clip.
Because I was going to say, it sounds like Sam just found his way to a bottle of moonshine.
But you hear him say, she already has a Kreider jersey, and now she has another one. And then there's this long dead silence, and you just know that somebody in his ear went, "That's a guy, Sam." And then you hear Sam go, "All right."
Do you happen to have the clip? This was something my buddy and I caught. We were watching the Rangers together, and they were talking the starting goalies and their nationalities, and they get to Hank, and I don't know if when you get something in your throat and it just kind of pinches your you've been doing the show so long where it just kind of pinches your vocal cords a little bit, and in turn it just ties everything up the rest of your throat. And the point being, Sam was talking about the opposing goalie, so on and so forth. And of course, for the Rangers, Henrik Lundqvist, donning his number 30, hailing from Sweden.
No, that one we don't have. But we have now. We have one. I don't know if you remember when Lindy Ruff fell and he fell on the ice and hit his head.
Oh yeah.
We have a clip from that where Sam forgets his name. Oh, and then our guy who does our sound effects added a little something in for us. So here you go.
And good to see assistant coach back behind the bench.
Yeah, Lindy Ruff.
So anyway.
Yeah, so Sam's got to stay forever. You're right. I'm sorry.
For comedy, I hope he never goes away. But Eddie's done. Eddie's done. He's like, we've got enough. We've got enough clips. We could just move on.
Thank God I can see Eddie's reactions, because that's priceless. I'm so sorry I can't hear you, Eddie. I don't know what's going on with my my first time on here with you guys, but in a while, but under this new format.
It's probably
but thank you for giving me the hand motions. Sorry, go ahead.
I feel like Harpo Marx over here.
Eddie said he
Another
feels like
reference.
Harpo Marx. I don't.
These together, we're gonna do like. I think that reference is about as old as Sam.
That's true. That reminds me of when they were back on Saturday Night Live when Johnny Carson, they did a thing where Johnny Carson was trying to get a younger audience and he's trying to do like Arsenio, and he's got Phil Hartman sitting next to him as Ed McMahon, and Dana Carvey as Johnny Carson says something and there's like dead silence, and Phil Hartman just looks at him and goes, "Old joke lost on younger audience."
Yes. Carcinio.
Wow,
Carcinio. Yes, very good. Carcinio.
Carcinio. That was the name of the bit.
Wow. Oh, Phil Hartman. Well, anyway, I feel like I've driven a wedge into the show by being here.
Beautiful. We love it. We've missed you.
I've missed you guys too. It's been a while. I keep seeing the posts, and every night. This actually worked out because my wife worked a little bit later. We've moved out east to Long Island. We're saving a little money instead of living in New York City and realizing we don't have a savings account. So now we have a dog.
Very overrated.
Oh, very nice.
Bagel. Cosell. He's a new member of the family that we now could have because we live out east. Thank you very much. He's sleeping through this because he hears my voice all the time. And the poor thing hears me like rehearsing names and stuff. Like the dog must think I've got the worst case of like sports Tourette's. So, but he loves me.
Ask him what name in the Met lineup is going to give him the most trouble.
The show. So I'm glad we were able to communicate a little bit,
Eddie,
and make this happen.
Eddie wants to know what name in the Met lineup is going to give you the most trouble.
It's never been a Met, because they're all pretty easy. But in Major League Baseball, it's Eugenio Suarez. Just because it's spelled Eugenio and then Suarez. Okay. But it's like it fits 17 different vowel pronunciations and more syllables that are actually in the name.
I'd like to hear Sam try that one because he can't say Jarrett Stahl.
It's just say Geronimo Sanchez.
The Suez Canal.
He hails from Sweden.
Jared Pickens.
Can you imagine having a stroke every time you're on air and getting paid for it?
Yeah. Oh wow.
Not pulling the punches. All right, my bad. Sorry. I won't make fun of Sam again.
That's good. All right.
All right, Colin. Well, thank you for calling in. We appreciate it, and we'll talk to you soon. I hope.
Man. I'll work on my connection for next time, and
your connection's fine.
Well, I mean, to make sure I can, hear Eddie and have like a full throughway conversation. And so the person who asked if I could, I'm just answering a couple things real quick in the chat line. What do I think of Quinn? I love him. Also, he's easy on the eyes. That guy. Those eyes just pierce you in a way Girardi's never could because he was too injured. Those blue eyes. But hi to everyone who said hello to me. And if I were to do an imitation of my grandfather covering the trade deadline today, it would be he's
not a trick pony, people. He's a dancing monkey. We get him in here. Can you do an imitation of your grandfather watching Star Wars?
Long ago in a galaxy far, far away, a brother and a sister made out briefly without knowing they were siblings. Meanwhile, James Earl Jones skulks around on an absolutely diabolical ship, building a giant moon that shoots laser beams.
And then building another giant moon, and then an even gianter big moon.
He does the improv real good. I like it.
Sub-stories, all of which I will get into with Rogue One.
Very good.
But also let's be careful with the word monkey when it comes to Cosell. We try not to be performing a performing chimp would be better. Still a sensitive topic 30 years later.
Yes.
But no, to that person I'd say the trade deadline went as follows. Shesterkin can't drive to save his life. Luckily, Schinkfeld did. So we're stuck with the same two goalies we started with. Kreider stays forever. Some guy named Gauthier, and Shea is gone. Have a great night, everybody.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Colin. We'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good. Have a great show, guys.
Take care.
All right.
Bye.
Great
Fantastic.
Colin Cosell.
Like he never missed a show.
The grandson of the great Howard Cosell, which really, he just wasn't a sports announcer. Well, not just an announcer. He was part of the pop culture in the 70s. Any game show you watched is a reference. Any talk show, there's a reference to Howard. I mean, it wasn't all positive. It mostly was negative, annoying, droning, that kind of stuff. But really captured America. Love or hate him, I certainly loved him. I could not get enough of his Battle of the Network Stars calling.
Right? Those are the best.
Supple arms of Susan Anton. That's when he got sexual. It got real creepy.
Right.
It was really great. It was a great moment for me as a teenager.
Look at the tan legs on Loretta Swit coming in third again.
I got a taste of hot lips earlier. Anyway. Yes.
Moving on, let me put the link again in the chat for anybody that wants to join us. We are live here on YouTube tonight. Thank you for indulging us. I've been trying to get Colin a call in for a while. Glad we were finally able to get it set up. I can tell you, since we're all here together, I'm having our fireside chat here on YouTube, that March 28th, Eddie, it's on.
It's on like Donkey Kong, I hear.
It is on. The second viewing party, I guess I suppose our last of this season, will be at Slattery's Midtown Pub, 8 East 36th Street. Rangers taking on the Tampa Bay Lightning that night in Tampa.
Big
game. Come on out to Slattery's. Could be a big game. Could have playoff implications. Why am I now talking like Howard Cosell or Jerry Seinfeld? It's like somewhere in between.
Yes, it's a very infectious voice.
Should I break it up with the minstrel? No, probably not. So we're going to be at the Slattery's. There goes Sam for our audience. Yeah. Anyway. We're going to be at the Irish place over there. Anyway.
I want to switch gears here.
Come on out and see us. We're going to be there. Right. Stuff to give away. It'll be a lot of fun. We're going to have a great time. We always do.
So get ready, make plans, call the babysitters, whatever you got to do. Get out there.
Exactly.
Okay. Now,
right here.
I have to say, having John Davidson as president of this club, it's just so good. I feel like he's calm. He's on the pulse of everything. He's respectable. He's like if I had a granddad alive, like he's my grandfather, he's going to tell me it's going to be all right. He's got some wisdom. He gives me the feels. I like it. And nothing, don't you think so? Don't you think so? It's so much better having him.
Absolutely.
Than that old decrepit mummy, that cigar chewing dope Sather.
I don't know if you've ever seen this. There's a Ken Burns documentary that he did. It's all about the Roosevelts. On Roosevelts.
On JD.
And people talk about Franklin Roosevelt coming in when he's elected president, and we're in the Depression, and how people just looked at him like this calming influence. He spoke to the people, and the people just loved him, and he just felt like they understood him. He understood them. That's how I feel with JD. He's my Roosevelt. If JD runs for president, I don't care what party he runs for. I'll vote for. He's got my vote. That's how I feel. He could do fireside chats and,
It's just like
the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. Right.
Well, even in one of my favorite shows from the old time days in the 70s is the Waltons. And the Waltons are constantly sitting around the radio, and Franklin's giving his speeches, and they're like, we're going to get through the Depression. Mr. Roosevelt said we would. Like, this is, when people actually believe in the president, and what he said, and yeah, you're right. But with JD, he's a ranger. You just know, and he's got such a touch. So with that, I'm trying to lead up to the clip we have of us breaking the news of it's actually the press conference for Igor and Buknevich and their car accident, and as well he announces the Kreider trade. So we're going to see if we can go to that. If we can, I'll filibuster till you get it, baby. Here we go. We're gonna see what. This is a man. This is a man who's making me feel good.
There we go.
He's professional. Here it goes.
Let's make sure we're all good. Actually, let me see if I can do this.
You did do that.
Look at see? Look at this.
Good morning, everyone. Last night at 8:30, there was a car accident that involved two of our players, Igor Shesterkin and Pavel Busnevich. It was in Brooklyn. Igor was driving, and apparently a vehicle pulled a U-turn in front of him, and there was a collision. The airbags were deployed immediately, and the seatbelts were being worn by both players, and thankfully for that, and I mean thankfully for that. They were taken to New York Presbyterian to be seen by our physicians. Busnevich is quite shaken up. No significant injuries, and he's listed as day-to-day. With Igor, there's a small upper body rib fracture. It is non-displaced. The estimate as of right now, he will be reassessed regarding his injury in a couple of weeks. So that's where that is with the two players. And that's certainly something that in our business, you're dealt curveballs all the time. That's a tough curveball that we have to deal with.
And that's just like Chris John said in the chat. I mean, he's emotional about this. Now we go to the Silver Bridge.
People that used it. It's designed.
There we go.
That's the bridge I'm going to jump off of if they don't win the cup in 3 years. So.
Now, can I just ask, because it looked okay on my end, did that video, to those of you watching on YouTube, did that video stream okay, and it sounded okay? Because it looked perfect whereas in the past when we tried to play videos in the old studio, they were choppy. There was a bad frame rate or whatever they call that. But that one looked really good. So let me know in the chat, because that looked really nice, and I can once again point out this wonderful technology that that we're now using.
Yes. Anyway. It looked pretty good on the way. Yeah, it was a little jerky, but it was definitely.
Was it?
Yeah, it was a little choppy, but listen, I thought it was fine for this show. You kidding me? Yeah. So you got the
still
gist
better
of
than
the
a
whole.
Cutter video.
Yes. You could tell that there's a lot of emotion in JD's heart, just like Chris said. He looks like he cares about these guys as people. Now, he's always been an emotional dude. I mean,
yes.
But this is good. Now I see that Kosa the Crazy Greek has apparently gotten his medical license, and now says Shesterkin's out for 6 weeks. I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're going to have 2 weeks. They're going to reassess him, and then they're going to be like, okay, you ready to go? You ready not? Whatever. So, yeah. Anyway, so there you have it. Straight from Ken Hitchcock. I mean, John Davidson's mouth. They're starting to morph into each other, I think. Anyway, so, I mean, it would have been just a really great day as far as I'm concerned for the Rangers, other than this. But if you look in the grand scheme of things, yes, I want the Rangers to make the playoffs. I think the Shesterkin injury is going to hamper that a bit. It does provide Georgiev a chance to take the team on his back, and it does. And I hate to say this because, but maybe this motivates, if it's possible to motivate Henrik Lundqvist to have one last gasp as the Rangers' savior. But I'll tell you what, if they make the playoffs, they better have Shesterkin back.
Well,
number one is
the initial word was that he could miss up to a month. So if you look at the schedule and go a month from today, he would miss either 14 or 15 games with 21 to play. So they're just going to have to, they're going to have to get good goaltending out of Georgiev and Hank. I mean, Georgiev's playing tomorrow night against the Islanders, but we know Georgiev's not going to play all these games while Shesterkin's out. Hank is going to play, and not only is Hank going to have to play well, but the team is going to have to play well in front of him.
They play terrible
because I'll be the first to admit they don't play the same in front of Hank, at least not at times, as they do in front of the other two. So they're just going to have to pull together, and we're going to see. I mean, with Kreider's here, they didn't make any big moves except Brady Shea. I don't think Brady Shea affects them making the playoffs. This isn't like
you haven't read where you stayed away from the social medias then.
Yeah.
How are we going to replace him? You want Brendan Smith in there now?
Well,
boy.
Here, let me put this up on screen. This is from Jen, who of course is an X-ray technologist. So she does know a little bit about this. Actually, she knows a lot about this. Non-displaced rib FX, which I assume means fracture, is good, but rib injuries suck to recover from, very painful. So, well, I mean, I can imagine, because every breath probably feels like somebody's sticking a needle in your chest. So, but hopefully, if he's okay in a month and then he comes back and plays, and if they can keep their heads above water, they're only 4 points out. This game tomorrow night against the Islanders is huge. YOOJ. And
capital U.
Right.
It's huge.
But I'm sorry, I'm reading comments. We'll see. We'll see what they can do. I don't think Brady Shea being out of the lineup is gonna not being here anymore. They've still got Kreider. They've still got their offense. The word is, according to the coach, Brendan Smith is going to fill in, at least for the time being. He will take Brady Shea's slot in the lineup, but I would expect that we will see either Selma Hayek or Igor. Is it Igor Rykov? How do you say it? It's Igor Rykov.
Yes.
Acquired in the Michael Grabner trade 2 years ago. Let me ask you a question. So the Rangers have now committed to Chris Kreider for 7 years, so he's not going anywhere. Panarin, obviously, the core pieces are here, and Kravtsov is in Hartford, hopefully on his way soon at some point. So where do you see where are the Rangers now in the stage of this rebuild? Because there's no more pieces to trade. You know what I mean? There's no more chips to play.
It depends with what happens with Tony DeAngelo. But I guess Shea affords them some money. Right now, I think they're about a little more than half done with it. I think it's really going to take hold. And I'm not saying the Stanley Cup in 3 years, but in 1 or 2 years, when you have the Keandre Millers come up and the Rangers really have a solid defense, and Mark Stahl is gone, and you got Shesterkin here. Forward-wise, I think the first two lines are probably going to have two pretty good lines. I mean, anytime you've got Zibanejad on one line and Panarin on another line, I think you're going to be productive. There's going to have to be some filling in of some of the role players. So I think we're a little bit more than half. I think it's quicker on the offensive side of things. On the defensive side of things, I still don't understand. I know you. I just don't want to go back. I'll go back to the last game, for instance. I mentioned on the show before the game, they're preaching no letdown, no letdown. We're not going to let it down. And then they get outshot 22-3 in the first period. 22-3.
Yeah.
And one of them went in for us. I mean,
yeah.
To me, maybe that's the mark of an immature team. I guess they get more mature in a couple of years. That it gives us some bonus points. I think you'll see the emergence of Capo Caco offensively. That's gonna help. Then you're gonna have more dangerous guys when he gets his act straightened out. Filipino's gonna mature even more. That's gonna be good. Then you're gonna have you could possibly have a third line center, or if Strome is gone, you're gonna have a young, two really good centers. The Rangers they're in the Kravtsov, like you mentioned. So I think they're about still a little bit more than halfway there, but they've done all the right moves. I said on this show, if they could trade Shea for anything and save some cap space, and they did.
Right.
They did.
And got a first round pick back for him.
Yeah, I don't care how late it is. They got a first round pick for him, and the contract was bad. It wasn't. He's not a good player. I mean, he's an average player at best. And they got rid of the contract, got a pick, and the contract for me was bad. Bad. So it's bad. So to me, Rangers know what they have. First of all, guys, and I'll add this one: they actually have a farm team, AHL team that's winning, and that's knowing they got this young coach Knobloch in there who absolutely everybody loves. They think this guy is really good. I don't know too much about him. I just know everybody loves him. They're doing things the right way. Gorton, to me, has had much more hits than misses, just by being really addition by subtraction. If they would have traded Kreider for some draft picks and a prospect, I probably wouldn't have been too happy. I wouldn't have been happy. So picks at this point, so maybe they're further along, because I'm not still worrying about picks and acquiring assets.
And had they done that, had they traded Kreider for picks and prospects, it's a step back. It's a step back because you're going, you're taking a key guy out of the lineup, and I understand, just trying to build for the future. I get that, but from where they are now, you take Kreider out of the lineup, and you're probably kissing the playoffs goodbye this year. You're cashing in on this season, and that's fine because it's not about this year. I get that, but it is a step back because now you're going back to a draft pick who's always an unknown. There's no guarantee that your first round draft pick, no matter where he is,
you're gonna be Elias Anderson again.
Right. There's no guarantee, no matter where you pick in the first round. There's no guarantee the guy's coming right up and playing well and setting the world on fire. I mean, we've seen it even with Kako. You see, there's an adjustment. Not everybody lights it up right away, no matter where you're picked in the first round. Not every first round pick is Patrick Kane. It takes time. So, there's no guarantee. So by doing that, again, that would have been a step back. It would have been, for the future, but a step back today. But now you got Kreider in the lineup. Now, now they got to start pushing. Next year, this team, maybe not this year, but next year, you bet your ass they better make the playoffs next year. Next year, no excuses. They got to make the playoffs next year. If they don't make it this year, that's fine. I'm okay with it. I really am. I knew what we signed up for when the letter came out 2 years ago, but next year, different story.
Yeah. And yes, I agree with you. I mean, you've always stated that you thought that the third year they should be making the playoffs, and I think so too. I mean, it's so good. I mean, you see these announcers; they keep saying the Rangers are doing the rebuild right, And listen, I don't know what they know, but I'm not talking about the Rangers announcers. Just as the outside announcers are like, the Rangers are ahead of schedule, done a great job. I've even heard the word genius thrown around when it comes to Jeff Gorton.
Yeah, everybody seems to like what they're doing.
Yeah.
Except Ranger fans.
Well, it's the nature of the beast. These people will never be happy with anything.
Nobody hates the Rangers more than Ranger fans.
Yep. And I'm sure they're all going, just our luck. Shesterkin gets hurt, no playoffs, blah, blah, blah. But it's going to be harder without Shesterkin. I don't think it's going to be that much harder because I think it's the Rangers have to do it themselves. I mean, at times this team looks very, very, very good. And they've looked very good. They're winning when they play bad. So that I guess that's a good sign too. But
Right.
they've got to really turn it on here. And if so, what? The Brady Shea is a cap sacrifice. If you liked Brady Shea, he was a cap sacrifice. If you didn't like Brady Shea, this is a windfall. And the majority of people did not like Brady Shea, including myself, including Jim. I think everybody in the underground, except for Jen Jonah, was not Jen Jonah was not was like the only fan I left.
Right.
So, yeah.
But
and so
I think I hung in there on Brady Shea longer than most Ranger fans because I don't like giving up on a guy that can skate as well as he can, but the defensive lapses just game after game. He wasn't getting any better. He's not getting any better. Maybe he does well in Carolina. Maybe he gets put in a different situation. Maybe he's not in New York. Maybe he's got a better partner, whatever. Maybe I hope it works out for him. God bless. We'll take
God bless. God
We'll
bless, but I'm not going to be following your career and going, look how good Brady Shea's doing.
We
in
never should have
Carolina.
traded him. We never should have traded him.
Poor asset management. Poor asset management.
Everybody loves that term.
Yes. Yeah. So listen, it is what it is. There's still that contract needed to go. And I'm not worried about this year and if Brendan Smith's going to actually play well or whatever. I got them not making the playoffs this year. If they make it, I'll be ecstatic. I'm rooting for them to make it. But that was a movement thinking long term. Now we could sign TDA. I mean, I don't know. You know me. I don't know what the contracts and the cap is going up, and can we do this? But that money can be put towards Anthony D'Angelo, as his mother likes to call him, for him.
Right.
And Anthony D'Angelo is much more of an up and coming and really has done more for the Rangers in his career than Brady Shea ever did. Although Brady was very good in his first year, but he got too quick of a payday. And I think we all thought that, especially after his sophomore season, which was pretty bad.
I'm just looking real quick because Henrik Lundqvist made some statements to the press today. I'm just seeing if I can find them. I guess about sitting down with management at the end of the season. And I actually didn't hear everything he had to say, just kind of like pieces of it. So I was trying to find it, see if they posted it on Facebook anywhere, and then we can put it up for all to hear. Let me take a look real quick here. There's Gorton and JD. They look like they lost their best friend. Mika Zibanejad, second star of the week. I don't see it. If somebody has the link to the Henrik thing, give it to me, and I'll put it up here for us to listen to. Anyway,
Just means correct, by the way. See if you can put up his quote. People still talking about the Rick Middleton trade. It's over. He's like 78. Let's stop talking about it. Let's stop talking about the bad trade with Jean Rattel. We all know it. Forget it. Why are we bemoaning all this bullshit that happened in the past? Get with the good. Get with the joy.
45 years ago.
How come people aren't talking about how we ripped off Edmonton? Ryan Spooner for Ryan Strome. How come people aren't talking about that? How we got D'Angelo. All these trades. I mean, Gordon's ripping people left and right. How come nobody's yelling from the social media mountaintops about how what a whiz?
Adam Graves for Troy Millette. How come we're not talking about that one?
Nobody's talking about that. Everybody wants to talk about the bad stuff. Well, we do feel comfortable a lot of times talking about the bad stuff, but let's laugh about it. Mika for Brassard, like Matt Morello just brought up. That is a tremendous. He was the second star in the whole NHL. This guy's averaging look at his stats this year. I mean, he's having a terrific year. We bitched and moaned about not having a number one center. Now you got one. How come people aren't talking about that? You know what it is? Old people want to gripe about the old trades. Nobody gives a shit. You mentioned Rick Middleton to these people who are like, what? Mention Ken Hodge to somebody. You think they're going to know who you're talking about?
And let's not forget Mika Zibanejad, that not only is he an elite number one center, he's only 26. We could have this guy another 10 years if we play. If he stays healthy.
We will sign him to. We will sign him to a 10-year contract. So
we play our cards right. He stays healthy. We don't go into another 3 rebuilds between now and then.
Yeah, I agree, man. They got a lot of young guys, and Mark Stoll will be gone at the end of next year. Listen, I don't think Stoll is all that bad. He ain't all that good, but I could survive with him as a 6D until the guys get here, till the cavalry comes and rescues us from the old tired guy. They get relieved of duty. Both him and Hank, they've been on the front lines, and they take it a beating. They're a beaten down soldier. So yes, that's right. Jay Weinberg comes up with a good one. Jay Weinberg said, "Who wouldn't trade Stepan for TDA today, let alone the one, even if Anderson is a bust? You roll the dice with the one." Bagel Cosell the dog is now in the chat room.
Bagel Cosell the dog.
Yes, he's down in here. I'm telling humans, pets, everybody's welcome. But the Shea thing was terrific. It was terrific. And I don't care what you say. What are we going to do now? Now you got – it had to be done.
Yeah,
it had to be done. And listen, me and Jim did a little bit of a 360 on Kreider. I'd say about, maybe after 25 games, we wanted him gone.
Yes,
he wasn't doing anything.
We've seen enough.
We've seen enough. I know what he is. I said it. But I'm not afraid to do a mea culpa, whatever they call that. The kid, and I do agree with what Colin said. He's showing me some leadership in these interviews now that I've never seen before. And he went out there with like our good friend Nick, TR Nick Adams, said that he didn't go out there with bubble wrap in that last game. Right. He could be traded. He knew he went out there and he played hard, at least for 2 periods. Because the Ranger team didn't show up for the first period. I understand these back-to-backs and all this. 22-3 to the Sharks. That Sharks team stinks. It's terrible. But they came away with the win. That's all I care about. But
it's all that matters.
I'm not going to miss Brady Shea. He's trending downwards. And you know what? Just because he's young doesn't mean he's good. Emerson Edom was good, young, but he wasn't good. So bye-bye. We've got enough young players on this team. We have more than our share. So, yes, I think with the emergence of Adam Fox and Tony DeAngelo, this really accelerated the Rangers. And Panarin's a bona fide superstar. I mean, this is a guy who's going to get 100 points. He was currently, at least a couple games ago, in the top 5 in scoring the entire NHL. So, as far as I'm concerned, did you see the passes he made in that San Jose game? Have you
Sick.
ever seen? Have you ever seen a player pass through a goalie's legs?
No.
I have never seen that in an NHL game ever.
No.
I might have seen it on the street. I might have seen it on playing deck hockey, but I never have seen that in a National Hockey League game. He makes guys look like fools.
He does. He does.
He's absolutely one of the greatest Rangers I have seen in my lifetime already. Just this 1 year. I mean, I'm not saying, Mark Messier, and Yager surely, he was really good here. I put him on par with Yager as far as his contribution to the team.
Absolutely.
And he's much younger, so you're going to see a lot more of it.
Look at this comment from Sean McCaff. This is great. How much do the Rangers own those bitches from Carolina? Carolina gives the Rangers Fox, then takes Shea's stupid contract off the books for a first rounder, and then the Rangers go 4-0 against them this season.
I know. And I guess if you get beaten by a Toronto Marley Zamboni driver, like the Panthers did, you will take on Brady Shea. And they made another trade for another defenseman as well. I know they're depleted. I think Joe Pesci, as Sam Rosen calls him.
They picked up Sammy
Vatanen. Yes.
Vatanen from the Devils.
Yeah, he's washed up, that guy, too. He's a power play guy. Enjoy those two New York Metropolitan losers.
And they got Joey Keane. I mean, they're stockpiling Ranger defense.
So, so it's. I thought it was a banner day for the Rangers, and the fact they didn't really do anything other than that. I forgot about that. Yes. A lot of Carolina and Hartford Whalers comments going out. I think it was Matt was saying, welcome to the Whalers. Let's see what Parkway Pro says. As happy I was, I thought we're stuck with that hot cold break for the next 7 years. Well, yeah. Listen, the term is hard to deal with because I don't even know if I'm going to be on Earth in 7 years. But it's a long time, but I looked at it this way. I was like, barring injury, the guy can skate. All right. He gets in front of the net. Those guys tend, and there's a lot of tip-ins. Those guys tend to last a long time. Now, I don't know, by year 4, will we be saying, oh, God, I had enough of this guy. But the money's not bad. I think it comes out to $6.5 million. I thought
it's an AAV of 6.5.
Okay. So 6.5 in 4 or 5 years, I think that'll be more than friendly,
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's kind of friendly now, cap friendly now. So I that's how I look at it. And I stand corrected because I thought that he would sign for a lot more. And people were saying, he's not a center, so he won't get as much because, and they were correct because I saw Kevin Hayes, he got almost $8 million last year. And I thought, well, if Kevin Hayes for his 4 shorthanded goals this year could get $8 million, well, then Kreider's going to get, this guy's trending up. He's the hottest player in the league practically, other than some other Rangers who are some of the hottest players. This is a good one by Matt Morello. Joey Pants may have ran out to the hospital to breastfeed Buchnevich to safety. Wow, that's a really good one.
Oh, boy.
So I think it was a great day for the Rangers. And they didn't do anything dumb.
Right.
That's the whole thing. Nothing dumb was done.
Well, that's because we've got competency at the top.
People are thinking they're making the moves,
Right.
And it looked like the bone of contention with the Kreider thing was the term. Apparently, the Rangers were only going to go 6, but they got they compromised on money a little bit, and they compromised on term and gave him 7. We should have Rangers Rabbi. Come on. So Sean is already conspiracy theorying that Buchnevich was intoxicated, and that it was at 12:30 in the afternoon.
I think I have the thanks to Marty Can. I think we have the Hank video here. If you want to take a look at that real quick, and then we'll get to a couple of the calls. Let's see. Share and show into stream. Thank you. Let's solo. All right. Here we go. Full screen. And now how do I?
What was your emotions, reaction when you heard the news?
Yeah, it's been a weird day today. The energy, obviously for different reasons, but news about the guys. That was the first concern. Is obviously how they feel, and everything is under control. And yeah, it's a scare always when you hear something like that.
How do you think now this concerns you as far as the future?
How do you think now this concerns you for the future?
I'm afraid of you.
Personally, like moving forward here, practice, playing. My obligation, my job is to come here and
Hank, how do you say fake emotion in Swedish?
That's what I've been trying to do over the last few weeks, and just be ready when I get an opportunity to play. But if I'm not playing, try to be as supportive as possible to the guys that are playing, and I think that's.
I think you're lying.
Should do. And then, it's been a very unique situation, obviously. But now, whatever happens here down the stretch, you just gotta come here with positive energy and try to help the team in any way you can. And obviously my situation after the season, you will obviously have things to talk about, your role, and if you fit in this role or something else. Right now, my focus is just to work hard and be ready.
You've been around Chris for a long time. What was your reaction knowing that he re-signed with the team?
I think everybody's super excited. I think he's a unique player. Very hard to replace. I think it's definitely the right decision to lock him up.
God, I had enough of him.
That's enough for him.
I tuned him out like the first 3 sentences. You're not going to get anything. You're not getting anything original or anything. He's just going to say,
but this letter went out 2 years ago, Eddie. Now all of a sudden he's going to sit down with management and see what his role is. Come on. You know what he knows he blew it. You blew it.
You blew it.
You blew it. You deaf fuck. It's a little cop land for you for those that you don't know.
Yeah.
He could have said, you know what? I don't want any part of this. I'm 36 years old. You want to rebuild? That's fine. Do it without me. I'll waive. Find the right deal. Bring it to me, and I'll waive.
I had enough of his puss. I had enough of his face. And Chris Jonat's right about the video on MSG. That Mike, and who was that guy? That Debbie Downer? Who was that? What do you think? This is gonna say what you mean. You're a fucking reporter. Nut up. Go listen. There's a lot of pressure on you now. You're going to have to win games, Hank, in order to get this team in the playoffs. Are you up to the task? I mean, you're not offending the guy. You just they walk around like with Rosasco's got a freaking Luger. He's ready to shoot anybody that says anything. Your press credentials, they're gone. You offended King Henry. King Henrietta.
So those were some of the comments. That's enough of that.
Okay. So, all right, Hank feels bad. He's concerned for the players. Blah, blah, blah. Wasn't everybody. Those idiots should have taken fucking Uber, Willie Uber. They should have taken Willie Uber.
Willie Uber.
Yeah, Willie Uber drive them around.
Willie Uber.
Get these slow-mos, these schmoes, and the freaking alumni. Couldn't Kotze drive these guys around or something?
R.I.P.
Yeah, Willie Uber's dead. I'm sorry. Yes, Sean's right, man. They should give you. You just got sent, Dusky. They should give you your own blog, Sean. You really are on point. Yeah, nobody can. Where? I'm not even going to get into it.
Marco Bagabino, Richie Grappa for doing a stellar Brooklyn job on Igor's car.
Yeah.
Thank God this is only coming from Bagel Cosell because
yes,
other Cosells could really get in trouble if they said these things.
Yeah, Bagel Cosell, a great dog from Long Island.
Bagel has no such inhibitions.
Come on. I forgot that Willie Uber was dead, though. How dare I?
How dare you?
But how dare you? I don't know what's
We've never
happening.
spoken ill of the dead before on this show.
Well, that's true. Yeah, right. So, yeah, that's going to be a problem. Do you think – now, you predicted on Monday's show – was it Monday? No, not Monday's show. What did we do? Saturday show.
Yes, sir.
Saturday show that you thought that Henrik would not be a Ranger.
Nope. I was wrong. I was wrong about everybody.
Do you think the injury to Shesty affected that movement, or that movement just wasn't going to come about?
No. I don't think it was happening. I was just wrong. I was wrong.
Wrong.
I was wrong.
No, that's all right. I'm really calling you on. I'm just thinking I
admit it.
Supposing that.
I think I was just giving Hank too much credit. He just, the guy, the gang in the chat room. I mean, they're right. He sounds defeated, depressed. He sounds miserable. But
your team's in the playoff.
Only he can change that. Only he can change that. So I don't agree with that. I don't agree that nobody wants Hank. I don't agree with that. I think a deal could have been. They could have found somebody to take him for a run. For a run, the Rangers eat some salary this year. It could have been done. Something can always be worked out. If they can find takers for other guys, guys get traded all the time. You're like, who the hell's going to take that guy on? And then here he is getting traded.
Tell the audience about your Dancing Larry Books story that went down on Twitter.
Oh, I know a lot of you guys are active on Twitter, and I guess it was about 12 o'clock. I guess it was about 12 o'clock that I want to say it was Pierre LeBrun that first tweeted that the Rangers were talking to Carolina about a Brady Shea deal. And then a little while later, there was another tweet that went around that there was cap issues on the Carolina end, and that was what was holding up the deal. And it was like an hour after all this came out, Larry Brooks comes on Twitter and says, I'm hearing that the Rangers could be working on a deal for Brady Shea. And I guess everybody got on Dancing Larry's case about him being, 5 time zones behind his own ass, as I like to say. And, he got nasty and tweeted out, unlike some people, I don't have all day to sit on Twitter or something like that. Well, what else is he doing today?
You're the NHL beat reporter for a major newspaper, Rangers beat reporter. It's the trading deadline, Larry. What were you doing? Housework? What were you, Swiffering and watering the what you call it there? The chia pet? The chia pet of Obama? What were you doing, you moron? I mean, you're dumb. Stay on top of things, Larry. You just can't watch this show and get all your material and write it down in the paper.
Right.
Part of your job is it's supposed to be social media. You're in the fucking media. Stay tuned. Larry Brooks. You hear the way these guys, the media is, they're all beaten up or they're not paying attention. I know it's only hockey, people, but really, if you're in the media and you're getting paid, do your job. Dope. That's why the Canada laughs at us. Laughs. They're reporting. We have to get all our, we rely on Canadian broadcasters to give us our Ranger information. That's ridiculous. Do your job. Stay in tune. Make some contacts. I know it's like the KGB over there with Rosasco and friends, but somehow get an inside man in there to find out what's going on, for Christ's sakes.
Nobody, none of the New York writers, they don't know anything. They don't know anything. They don't get any of this stuff.
They're beating down over. He hit him, and they feel like they're in the gulag over there. Hey, Hank, how do you feel when you heard the news? And then he's got to out the press the guy who asked the question. It's like, come on, God.
I need our sad violin music. All right.
Is it true that Pavel was drunk? And that's why Igor was driving like Mr. Magoo, who doesn't know where he's going in Brooklyn. Yes, Jonathan Rakes.
Oh, Magoo, you've done it again. All right. Who would you like to talk to first? We have, let me see. Let's talk to Rock first, because I know he's limited on time. He just popped up. So let's bring Rock on. Costa, kind of hang in there. Rock, what's going on?
What's up, guys? Can you see me?
Well, I can see you. Eddie can see you. Can you hear Eddie?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
I'm going to try again. I'm going to try back. I can't see anyone.
Oh, all right. All right.
Mr. Casino Night, Rock.
Yes.
I went to Casino Night, snapped some pics, the selfies, and all that kind of stuff with all the Rangers.
Don't ask about trades. We know when you know. Nobody knows what we know.
Oh, Lord. Let's
all right. Well, we'll give Rock another minute, and then if not, we'll get one of the other guys in.
Why we have time here? Well, I don't know if we have time. Now, I feel something else went down, and it wasn't concerning the Rangers. The Ranger killer extraordinaire, Jean-Paul Pajot, is that what he is?
Jean-Paul D. Pajot?
Jean-Paul D. Pajot was acquired by the New York Islanders, who traded every number one pick they had. Well, they traded a lot of picks, and then they signed him to what, a 5-year extension? When they signed
6-year deal, big money.
Now, it was pretty funny. Now, Jean Paul is a little bit. He's having career season this year in points and goals. He's a notorious Ranger killer, which worried me right from the beginning. Him coming to play with the Piles. He's ready for his hat trick tomorrow.
Or at least he's a Hank killer. We know he's a Hank killer. We don't know if he's a Hank killer. He's a Hank killer, like Blake Como.
I don't think Zach Parise, did that ever happen?
No,
it never happened. So the Islanders and they got to lock him up. Because, I mean, once you get a guy of his caliber, you got to lock him up 5-6 years. The strangest quote I heard was from Brian Burke, who was on part of the panel on one of those trade deadline shows, saying that he really would have targeted Pajot over Kreider, because Pajot basically does the same things as Kreider at a much lower cost. And I was saying to myself, Brian Burke, senility has set in. As much as I've been a critic of Kreider's play in the past, with him being very streaky, he will get you 28 goals every year. He is a guy that can go in front of the net, tremendous speed. I don't think Pajot even comes close to what he is. Pajot is a hard worker and is a kind of a tenacious guy. It can be a pain in the ass. but I just couldn't see how he could actually make that kind of like parallel between those two players, who I think are in two different classes. But
all right, let's try again with Rock. Rock,
What's up,
hello,
boys?
Rock.
can you hear us? Can you see us?
How's it going?
Oh, look,
Mr. Mr. Casino Night. There he is.
Look, we're getting a tour of the firehouse here. It's like the inside.
That's not a fire. He's in his garage. He's in his garage.
Yeah, you all dressed up in your tux with Hank and
Any memories? Any memories?
It was a great experience, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was a wonderful, humbling experience. I mean, the guys were amazing. They really were. They were true gentlemen. They took their time. They took pictures. They really were great. I got to talk to Ryan Strome for a few minutes, and I'll tell you, he couldn't have been nicer. He took his time, talked to me. You know, it just really was a wonderful experience.
He's a nice kid. I got to meet him, and he's very nice.
Tony D was great. Panarin was great. I mean, and I'll tell you, the size of these guys is amazing. Like Mika Zibanejad, I couldn't believe how big he was. Like you don't realize how big these guys are until you're up close and personal. Yeah. It was pretty amazing. So yeah, it was.
Is that your first casino night?
It will be it was my first casino night, but I'm telling you, I'm thinking about doing it again next year. I had such a great time. It was such a wonderful experience. Yeah, so we'll see what happens.
Good. No, we're not going to razz you about that. That's something I would want. I would want to do that. Yeah, especially now with the Rangers have so many players you like, and they're young.
I mean, it was. I think it being the first time I went, I think I could have probably enjoyed things a little bit more. But I pretty much ran around all night trying to just talk to players and meet people and take pictures and all that fun stuff. So, yeah. So maybe next year, if I do happen to make it there, I'll maybe do some things different. But I figured this was the perfect year. Who knows where Lundqvist is going to be next year? I wanted to meet him. I wanted to talk to him and take a picture. And Kalko's there this year on Panarin and Trouba, and who didn't know what Kreider was. He was the one guy that I just couldn't track him down. So, but it was all in all, it was a wonderful experience. I have really nothing negative to say. It really was great.
Awesome. I'm glad you had a good time, and it was good. What do you think about the deadline?
It's funny. I put something in the group chat. I go, it was funny because when the Mestikov got traded, and I was like, oh God, I can't wait to see what the return is for this guy, because people were crying. Oh, I can't believe the Rangers only got a 4th round pick and a stupid prospect and so on and so forth. And they were complaining and everything else. And I was like, let me just I just got to see what the return was. And they got the same exact return that the Rangers got. And it makes me laugh. These troll Ranger fans, they think the Ranger brass is stupid sometimes. Like, do you really think if the Rangers been trying to trade the Mestikov for 2 years, you don't think that if they had a better trade, they would have made it? You think they wouldn't have traded him in the offseason if they had the opportunity to? I mean, come on. And I was laughing too because then someone brought up Shattenkirk. I go, oh, I can't believe they didn't trade Shattenkirk for 50 cents on the dollar. So you really think the Rangers wanted to buy that guy out? That was the last possible option to do this. And I'll tell you, these fans think that the ownership, the Gordon and Davidson, are stupid. I mean, do you really think that they didn't want to trade these guys?
You don't think they tried to exhaust every other avenue until they had to do that?
I'm not saying they're geniuses. They make stupid trades and stupid signings, but when it comes to getting rid of a guy, you just want to dump him. You don't think you're taking the best possible situation.
Right.
I mean, come on. So dumb.
I agree.
Really, it's so frustrating sometimes being a fan because you have to deal with such ignorance. It's really horrible as a fan base.
Yeah, I mean that's why I surround myself with, quality Ranger fans.
Well, like everyone in this group.
Yes, like everyone in this group.
All quality people. As far as listen, I have as far as Brady Shea's concerned, I think it's something they needed to do. I think Brady Shea's a nice kid. I just think mentally New York's just not for him. And Quinn even said it. He said it multiple times. Oh, he's trying too hard. He's trying to live up to his contract. He's trying to do this. He's trying to do that. And, when you keep hearing that, you go, you know what? Maybe this guy needs a change of scenery. Because he played so well his rookie year. Because I remember Russ Cohen saying, Brady Shea's never going to amount to anything. He's going to be a bust. He's never going to make the NHL. Whatever he said. And I'm paraphrasing. I don't think he said all that. But he basically said that he really wasn't a high profile prospect. And he comes out and his rookie year, his full season, he busts
Played
out,
great.
he plays really well. But he was sheltered. He was playing behind McDonough. He was playing behind Girardi. He was playing with Brendan Smith. He was playing with Nick Holden. I mean, I don't know who was on that team, but he was behind all those guys, and he didn't have to be the man. And then when he gets that contract and he has to be the man, I don't think he knew how to handle it. And, God bless the kid. I mean, he gave his heart. He tried, but sometimes New York isn't the place for guys. And that's the other reason why Chris Kreider is so vital to this club, because despite all the things that were going on and all the issues and the trade talk swirling around him, that guy's played better. He's been money in the playoffs, and that's the type of guy you want leading our young players into the next phase of this rebuild, into the build, or whatever you want to classify. You want a guy that's strong-minded, that's going to come up in the big spots. You don't want these feeble-minded players that melt under the pressure. And that's the biggest reason why Kreider was so vital to this club.
And he has emerged as a leader. I've seen the kind of he's starting to talk like he is the number one guy in the locker room. I would be very interested to find out who were the players that were outspoken after that first period against San Jose, because they said Quinn chewed them out, but also some other players were really vocal. And I bet you it was him as well. He seems like
listen, listen, if you really think about it, as far as playoff experience is concerned, there's not many guys left in that room that have any type of player experience.
Yes.
You got Stoll, but if you really sit back and you think about it, Kreider in the playoffs has been money ever since he came up in 2012. And I was telling it to my friend the other night ago. I was at that game against Washington where he just was electric. Like, I don't know how to explain it. And he's always come up in the playoffs, and that's the type of guy you want.
Yep.
So, listen, I think they got what they could for Shea, and a lot of people are like, well, maybe the first-round pick will be there in the summer, but maybe it won't be. Maybe they'll realize. Maybe Shea will play another month and get hurt, or they'll realize that they find a better thing. You got a first-round pick in this draft, and from all accounts, this draft is loaded.
It's a good draft, yeah.
So
I think it was terrific.
Building blocks for the future.
And you got that cap space.
This team is going to be so good in 5 years, guys. We're not, and that's the other thing. Oh, Kreider's contract's too long. All right. Well, let's put it this way: if this team wins a cup in the next 5 years, 6 years, you really going to care about the last 2 years of Kreider's contract?
And it's a long contract, but I don't think it's cost prohibitive. I think it's a pretty
right.
I think it's a pretty
6.5 average.
He's only making $1.875 million more than he made this year.
Right.
That's it.
I mean, like Eddie said before. Yeah, like Eddie said before, it's not going to kill him. It's pretty team friendly.
No, the cap's going to go up. You're going to get rid of some guys. Now, listen, I understand. You got to pay Kakko. You got to pay Fox. You got to pay D'Angelo. You got to pay, Hedl down the road. But you have a ton of money coming off the books in 2 years. Plus, all the buyouts are going to be coming off the books in 3 years.
Right.
When Kakko's due for a contract.
Right.
So, plus the TV deals coming up. The cap's probably going to go up by like $10 million, like it did the last time. You cross that bridge when you get there. To me, when do you start turning the corner, and when do you start trading away great players? You would spend the next 10 years trying to replace Kreider.
Right.
There's nobody like
most likely.
He's a unicorn in this league. He keeps himself in phenomenal shape, and that was the other thing I was laughing about. People are like, oh, well, he's Milan Lucic. I go, he's Milan Lucic.
What?
I don't. Last time I checked, Milan Lucic wasn't any type of fitness guru by any stretch. Right. He was a bruiser and a grinder and a fighter, and he popped in the occasional goal. He didn't have the speed Kreider had, and he didn't have this physical specimen that Kreider was. And
his window of success, Lucic, was like 4 or 5 years where he was like, oh, he's physical and he could score, and now he's a nothing.
Right.
And I think your best point, if the Rangers win a Stanley Cup in 3 or 4 years, no one cares. Was it Jim said that? No one is going to care about his contract. We want the cup. This is he's a vital component of this team. And like you said, this doesn't look like the normal Kreider streak. This looks like something different. That's my assessment of his play.
I agree 100%. He has great chemistry with Zibanejad specifically. He just looks like a different, more confident person. The fact that he played better under all the scrutiny and the trade talk and all of that stuff, he was able to block that all out of his mind, to me, is the biggest attribute. When you can play better with all this stuff weighing on your mind, to me, I think that's hands down. When you can find somebody that's mentally tough, that plays in New York, that nothing phases him, that's the type of guy you want. That was Messier. You know,
Right.
that was I'm trying to think of another good example. Maybe Yager to a lesser degree. You know, that guy that when you have that mental fortitude. I don't know. I can't say enough about it. I just think it's
No,
such
I mean, it's
amazing
at this
attribute.
time he was the number one guy everybody wanted. He was the number one trade bait guy. Now the last contract, he didn't play so well.
No,
right, and he didn't get that payday he maybe should have gotten. But this is a little bit different because I think he was the number one guy out there, and he's just coming on. He's not stopping.
No.
So
I'm very impressed with the way Gordon's been able, because I said to you guys when that Shea contract came out, I go, oh my God. I go, we're not going to like that contract in a couple of years. And I thought we'd get at least 3 years out of him. And I don't think Brady Shea's bad. I want to preface that. I don't think he just doesn't do anything outstanding, anything really well. He does
really
things well. He doesn't do things outstanding. You know what I mean?
He can't get
He can skate, but he doesn't have a great shot. He doesn't pass the puck well. He gets stuck in the zone a lot. He gets turned around. I don't know. Maybe
he gets down on one knee a lot.
Yeah, and I want to see Trouba with a different partner. I know I know a lot of people aren't pleased with him right so far. I mean,
he's been shaky. He's made some critical. He's made some critical turnovers in the last couple of games.
Right.
But on a whole, and I said this. I said Trouba's the only one who stands people up. I mean, other than Lindgren, Trouba will make a nice hit. He made a nice hit that led to a goal a couple nights ago.
Right.
When the Rangers get to where they want, Trouba will be a cornerstone of the team.
And the other
that's
thing
what
too
I
is
believe.
Eventually, those pucks, those blasts that he's putting towards the net are going to go in, or they're going to get.
He always
deflected,
shoots,
or they're going to
and
do
it gets
something.
to the net.
He's the only guy on that team that has a blast from the point, and we've been begging that. The last guy I remember with the decent shot at the point was Willie Huber.
Oh, twice in one show.
2 Willie Huber references on this show tonight.
Okay, I missed the beginning part. So
Rest in peace.
To it.
Yes.
But I remember as a kid, Willie Huber had a bomb from the point. He couldn't do anything
Yes, he
else,
did.
But he had a great shot.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm not ready to give up on him yet. If the time comes,
that's so far.
Oh, you got people trying to trade him already this offseason.
Oh, they're Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
Those people hey, why is he getting paid so much? This and that. Because first of all, his role changed because he was usurped on the first power play unit because Tony DeAngelo was just playing so great. I mean, they can't, he has to play second power play unit. His stats are still relatively good. I think he's solid. He's solid. He's going to be fine.
And once this team gets better defensively and the team matures, he's covering up a lot of mistakes too.
That's what I said.
He plays a ton too. He's playing 24, 25 minutes a night.
Right.
I mean,
I agree. Once he gets some help and he gets some people maturing, he's going to become. You're going to see how much of an asset this guy is.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
I was just on a side note. I was talking to Jim the other day about because he went down to watch Hartford play. I'm sure he brought it up on the show. I'm a little bit behind on catching up on the episodes. I'm going to do that. I don't know if he brought that up, but about Libor Hayek, I had a guy tell me that Libor Hayek's never going to be a great defenseman in the league, and I said, well, what are you basing that on? Well, I go, he's 21 years old, and he said to me, oh well, he hasn't done this, he hasn't done that. I go, well, the last time I checked, there have been a bunch of defensemen that didn't come into their own until they were 23, 24 anyway. I said, I can't remember. Anton Stroman was put on he was a tryout. He got cupped by the Devils in a tryout during the season, and then the Rangers picked him off the scrap heap. And the guy actually turned out to have a pretty decent career.
Yeah, he made a lot of.
That's my point. This is what we deal with these fans. They think they
the snap judgments.
I mean, oh my God, it's nauseating. I don't claim to know anything other than my opinion. I give you my opinion. I tell you what I see.
Right.
I don't tell you Libor Hayek's never going to be an NHL player because I don't know that.
Yeah,
but these guys preach like is it the gospel? Like just because they have a microphone that people actually take what they say is for gospel. And you know what? It's not like that. We're all fans. We all have passion.
And we have passion, and sometimes we're right, and sometimes we're wrong.
Right.
I mean, I think I've been wrong more than I've been right. But
I know listen, I wanted Rick Nash here, and you know how I feel about him now.
But you wanted Trouba here, and that's working out pretty
if
well.
I'm wrong about him, I'll admit it then too.
Yeah, I think people are very afraid to be wrong. But how do you take a position on a 21-year-old defenseman? How much Libor Hayek have you watched?
Right.
You could say he's never going to make it in this league.
Oh, and then Ryan Lindgren was never going to be more than a 7th defenseman. That was the other one I heard.
Yeah.
No, he's never. We're never going to count him. He's never going to be more than a 7th defenseman. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess you know more than the Rangers do. I mean, obviously,
exactly.
That's why you give a blog show and you scouted for the Rangers.
He only got a 68 rating in NHL 19. He's never going to be anything. He's never going to amount to anything.
It's so ridiculous. And listen, I mean, I've overvalued our players when I was a kid too, and I said a lot of things. I think I've matured as a Ranger fan because I think I've calmed down a lot. I think I used to
I try to pull back the reins,
trade everybody, and move on and whatever. And I think I've kind of came to the realization that you just got to be patient, and it's hard. It's definitely
hard.
And you win one championship in 80 years. It's very.
I know.
Right. Be patient.
But I think the guys they got are the real deal. You could see this. Come on, this Panarin deal.
I like that too.
He looked pretty good so far.
Adele stood on his head the other night. I mean, otherwise that was a great play, the great move he made.
Oh yeah, he absolutely had the right idea on that penalty shot. He just didn't. He just didn't
lift the puck high.
He didn't lift it enough. Yeah. He had the right idea. He had him beat.
He's got some wheels on him too for a 6'4" guy to be that fast.
Yeah,
and I was laughing because you said something about the Rangers love those fast guys, and the first guy I think of is Freddie Sjustrom.
Yeah,
the guy who could skate.
I'd forgotten about. I named
like Frankenstein.
Right, I named 5 other guys, and then you're like, oh yeah, like Freddie Sjustrom, and I'm like, oh shit, I forgot about him.
I did. I had forgotten about him too.
and Verleeson and Carl Hagelin, and they always can find guys that can skate like the wind, but just can't score.
Right.
All right, Rock. Before we let you go, snap decision, snap judgment. Are the Rangers making the playoffs this year?
Oh man, no.
Don't think about it. Just yes or no. No, you don't think they're making the playoffs? Okay.
No. Especially with Shesterkin on the shelf now.
How about Shesterkin if he was in the mix? If he was in the mix, maybe.
I still think they needed to make up too much ground.
Okay.
That's fair enough. Yeah. There's no wrong. I mean, there's no right or wrong.
What's everyone else said? Just out of curiosity.
I think everybody's in the middle.
What do you guys think?
I honestly think they're going to make it, but I'll be okay with it if they don't. I don't
think they're going to make it.
I just don't think the teams that are right in front of them that are reachable. I don't think any of them are playing that well.
And they weren't playing in the Atlantic. They'd be in the playoffs probably.
And and the Rangers are they're playing well at the right time. And I think Georgiev and Lundqvist can hold it together.
I know, I don't disagree with that.
And I just nobody that's directly in front of them. I'm not. The Rangers do have a tough stretch in March, though. They've got some tough games. They've got a couple of games. Flyers twice. They got the Penguins twice. They got the Caps. I think there's another game against the Bruins. They've got Tampa Bay the end of March. Viewing party the 28th. Rocky, I know you didn't hear.
March 28th.
Yeah, Saturday night. Rangers in Tampa.
Okay, cool.
We'll have it in your garage.
Yeah, it's gonna be right there at the firehouse.
All right, cool.
No, garage.
Garage.
I'm in trouble.
I'll invite some of the guys tonight when I see them.
All right, Rock. We'll talk to you soon, buddy. Good to hear from you.
Great talking.
Take care, brother.
See you later.
Yes, take care, man.
Later.
Good night. All right. Costa or Connor, you pick.
Costa.
All right, Connor, hang in there. You're next. He's got his Yangling. He's fine. What's up, Costa? What'd you do? Fall and hit your head? Oh, wait a minute.
I banged my head in a freaking garage door.
What'd you do? Fall down the stairs at Slattery's again?
Oh, that was the garage door, he said.
Are you all right?
Costa?
Oh, yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Body injury. Did you go to the concussion protocol? Did you have to go in the medical tent? Did they blow the whistle and call you out of your? Did they blow the whistle and call you out of your little lair there? You had to go into safe space, the quiet zone.
I don't know. I don't know why I'm so negative about them making the playoffs. I don't know. I don't want to get my hopes up too high. I hope they make it. Now,
Mike Silver says they're done with the Bruins. Okay, I still know there's some tough games in March. Tough enough without.
So let me ask you this: you've crunched the numbers. You've made. I mean, for the last 3 months, it's just been. You've been looking at that salary cap. Capfriendly.com. You've been looking for trades.
Now that you're your head, are you thinking any clearer about all of that?
The dust is settled. What do you think?
Let me follow up what Rock says. I think Kreider is good for this reason. You basically got a Kreider clone on the team. So you see where I'm going with this? Gauthier could pick his fucking brain and shit, you know.
Oh, okay. You can have a mentor now.
If he could be as good as Kreider, you know, we're golden.
All right.
Fucking golden. If
now,
we,
So
me
Chris
and you
Kreider
were.
assumes the role of Obi-Wan.
Well, let me ask you: are you happy about what things happened, or what? The dust is settled, my friend.
He doesn't like the Kreider deal.
No, I'm gonna retract that statement.
Oh! I think a first, another first. 11 years on the air and another first.
He's retracting.
I don't hate it, but I want to see what happens in the 5 years.
If the Rangers win a cup,
if the Rangers win a cup, they should build a fucking Kreider statue outside.
God bless. After that. Okay.
You know what? If they win the cup in the next 3 to 5 years, as was predicted by Bagel Cosell, then the following 3-4 years will be still on a high. We won't give a shit about it. I won't care if they have 20 points the following season.
Right.
All right.
Let's just say this. I think the Shea trade made it more palatable.
Yes.
That's what I'll say about the Kreider deal. The Shea trade, because now basically that money's going to Tony D'Angelo, his money. Because he was making like $5.25 million a season.
All right. So the answer to Sean's question is yes.
Season.
So we have a question from the audience. Sean McCaff is asking, does Costa think TDA should get Shea's money?
Money.
Yes.
All right. There you go, Sean.
Will TDA take Shea money? Or does he want
I
more?
I think so.
Okay. So then who we got left? Ryan Strome and Jesper Fast?
I think Fast. I got a bad feeling we're going to lose him for nothing.
The expansion draft?
No, he's going to sign as an UFA. He's going to go somewhere else.
UFA,
me.
Hey, we can't make light of Jesper Fast, man. He's been scoring some goals out there. I mean, it is a result of playing with Panarin, but still, he's putting the puck in the net.
Right.
Hey, listen, if we lose,
yeah.
How about your beloved Ryan Strome?
I could easily see him be dealt at the draft.
Okay.
But again, the problem is he's gonna want some coin.
He's really become really.
I mean, I've said 5.55 for like 5 years or some along those lines. At least 5
on Channel 5.
He's gonna want at least 5. Right.
Well, he certainly has become a real nice player for this team.
Lemieux lost trade value. Lost some money because he got hurt.
Guys, I know you're gonna kill me for this. I know you won't kill me, Costa, but I could do without him.
Really?
Yeah.
Without baby Claude?
Baby Claude. If he has to be the thing that has to be severed, good luck.
Nah.
They could find somebody like him.
Nah.
He's replaceable.
You need a sandpaper guy like him on the team. This team is too fucking vanilla. You understand what I'm saying? Way too vanilla. Been vanilla
find
for
another
7 years.
pest.
The team's been vanilla.
Get Nate Thompson. Oh, he just got traded.
He just went to
you get these guys. I don't know. He's not doing it offensively for him. He's got to put some more pucks in the net.
Yeah, but I think the fact he got hurt kind of.
You think it set him back?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Listen, I was around. I was ready to get the jersey and the whole bit, but now
only 23.
I know. I'm not killing the guy, but I could live without him. That's all I'm saying.
I know. I'm just,
I gotta be
baby Claude. Peppy.
I mean, I'm not getting. I'm not going to get I'm not a blasphemer just for the guy because I'm not as in love with the guy as I was.
I love the fact that I love the fact that his teammates call him Pepe, which of course was his father's nickname.
No, I know he's not here to score, but hey, help a guy out once in a while. You're on that last 30 seconds of the power play. Maybe score.
You think he's playing hurt?
No, I think it's worn off. Some of these guys, they come over here or they come to a team, they play crazy, and then it all settles down to where it really is. And I'm not bashing the guy. I like what he brings to the table, but that third and fourth line just not really doing anything for me. Now the fourth line I like when they pepper it with Phil Giuseppe and
Gauthier.
Julien Gauthier. That makes more sense to me than the other schleps they had in there, like
McKegg.
Greg McKegg. Greg the Leg McKegg.
Another guy another fast guy that can't score. Di Giuseppe's shaping up to be another fast guy that can't score. Philippa Di Giuseppe, a scorer.
A scorer.
He shooted the puck and no one go in the net.
What's the matter with you?
Oh God.
So, and then I see that they sent Howden and our boy we just mentioned there, the French kid, Gauthier. They sent him down to Hartford so they can be qualified
so they can play in the playoffs.
Right. In the
Calder
playoffs.
Cup. They'll be back tomorrow probably, right? Or they don't even I mean, they don't it's a paper transaction.
Right. A lot of people said that they'd like to see Howden go down there
and not come back.
For real. But
bring up Letary.
Tell Howie, like father, like son, Howie. Like father, like son.
Bring up Letary. Disgraziata.
How many eye ties you want on this team?
How many you got? How many eye ties you want on this team? How many you got?
I know it was a paper move, but it's just like I don't know. They could do better. I guess. What am I complaining about? If I don't want Lemieux and I don't want Howden, what centers are we going to have in a third, fourth line?
Morgan Barron.
So
I mean, that guy's tearing it up in friggin' Cornell in the NCAA.
Yes. Well, I don't know what the Rangers are looking at. I think the Rangers got a draft pick from Carolina, and they dumped money. How do you not get excited about that? That's a trade. That's a shrewd trade there. And they get him off the ice, which is even a better thing. I don't care who you're replacing with. Long term, that's a good deal. And Kreider, what? You're making $2 million more a year, so you had to sign him for 50 years. Whatever. It is what it is. It's like this is the when you deal business, none of these guys want to sign for 4 years. I think there was give and take, and I think Kreider was fair with the Rangers. I think he did a good thing. And
imagine what happens if he fucking regrets next season? The pitchforks will be out and shit.
But I don't think that the money's friendly. The money be friendly 3 or 4 years down the road. It's not astronomical.
And not to be a dick, I want to see the clauses.
Oh, here we go. The no movement. There's a no movement clause in that thing. The Rangers don't give anybody a contract without a no movement clause.
I think toward the end it's going to be like a modified no trade toward the back end of the deal.
Yeah, could be.
Because I know you don't want to play in Canada. I know that for sure.
Well, he's doing good right now. He's one of us, and only the future is going to tell whether it's going to be good or not. Typically, these long contracts are not good. You don't say, "Wow, we got our 7 years worth." Who's ever said that?
Right.
I mean, so hopefully he does well, and we don't have to regret. Sean, you come up with some real good ones. Carolina just traded for Kevin Shattenkirk's dead cap space. Yeah, man. We'd be sitting pretty if it wasn't for that dead cap space. Shattenkirk. Dummy.
All right,
All
Coach.
right.
Anything else?
Final thing. Kreider is Kreider the captain next season?
Seems like there's this groundswell of people thinking that way.
A lot of people thought a lot of people thought that was going to be announced today with the contract.
I'm going to say yes now. Although I was a big Mika supporter, I think Chris Kreider is a homegrown product. He's showing some leadership now. He's been more outspoken this year.
You think it'll be the A's?
I'll give it to Mika.
Yep.
And
Panarin?
Nah. I'll give it to Trouba. You got to give it to.
That's Artemi Panarin.
There you go. I think Jacob Trouba. You give it to a defenseman.
Nah, Jacob Trouba. Nah.
Get out of here.
He's going to have an A next year. Still, he got another year of Stahl.
Yeah, get an A for
unless he retires.
You're for out of
From real up to God's ears, he retires. So.
Let's hope.
All right, Costa. We'll talk to you next time.
I wanted to ask Costa one thing. Hold on.
Oh,
Costa.
sorry.
What do you think about the Asslanders getting Peugeot?
Oh,
and they started to $6 million.
God. Oh, gee. Oh, God.
A stupid move, right?
Thank God. I hope we don't see something like we saw in the playoffs with that fucking guy. Because you're going to see you're going to see remotes getting thrown to the friggin' wall and shit like that.
It's bad enough they got Josh Bailey. Now they got Peugeot. So they're going to be.
Don't worry. Baby Claude will take care of him. No
All right.
problem.
All right. Pepe's going to take care of it.
Pepe's got it.
Okay. All right, Costa. Take care, my friend.
Take it easy, buddy. Take care of that head. That open, massive head wound Harry over there. Bye. Punch it out, Maverick. All right, really quick before we get to Kana, I just want to know from you, there's a game tomorrow night. There's a game Friday night. There's a game tomorrow night, Thursday, Friday. Then they play Sunday afternoon, and then Tuesday, and then Thursday, and then Saturday next week. So when do you want to do our next show? We want to plan 2 shows. What do you want to do? I leave it up to you. I defer.
What'd you say they play? Day off Saturday?
Sorry, that was probably too much all at once, right?
Yeah, that certainly was way too much.
They play Tuesday, Thursday, Friday.
Why don't we do? Can we do a show Saturday?
You want to do an afternoon show Saturday?
Yeah, that'd be good.
All right. You don't have you don't have anything going on with the band?
Nope.
All right. We'll do Saturday afternoon. I don't know, 3:00, 4:00, something like that. 5:00, Rock.
And then we'll come back. What? There's a couple games.
Then we could come back Monday or Wednesday.
We'll come back Wednesday.
All right. That sounds good to me. All right. So we'll do here you go. It's not just you. I do that.
No big deal.
It's my thing.
Matthew is checked in. The Shayless era begins. That's right. Thank God.
Right. So Saturday afternoon, and then what did we say? Wednesday. All right, cool. We're trying to do some more shows for you. So, all right. No, I don't want to do a Sunday post game show. I'd rather do a show Saturday. Might have other Sundays. Jen's only day off, so there might be other things going on after the game. So we do enjoy spending time together. All right, let's talk to Kana. Kana.
There he is, Andy Pettit.
What's up, Kana?
There you go. What a fucking deadline. Well, I figure I might as well just clear this up.
Since he's been on hold, like at the beginning of the show, I think I've seen Kana drink like 8 cans of Yuengling.
Yeah, well, I figure I figure the Walnuts are supporting Eddie's backyard, so I figure I can drink Yuengling to support the boys in Jim's backyard.
There you go.
There you
go.
By the way, just a promotional pitch here. If you want to see Andy Pettitte completely hammered, come to the viewing party on March 28th.
Yes, you will. Andy partakes.
Bring the Shotsky.
I will bring the Ranger Shotsky. The Blueshirt Underground Shotsky will be there. So sum it up for us, Connor. What do you think after it all went down?
Well, I know this is a family program here, but what a fucking deadline. Beautiful here.
Yes.
I might as well just say I was in the band that said let's trade Chris Kreider, and I like that extension. I think I'm in the same boat as plenty of people. I think the term's a little too long, especially for a guy who's completely handless here, but we got Jen's favorite Brendan Lemieux to make up for that. So I think we're good there.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just part and parcel to these kind of deals. The term is always going to be a lot longer than you think for a player.
Absolutely,
but the money's not crazy, so I'm good with it. I'm very good with it. And now we don't have to speculate on what the Rangers got back and what pick is going to turn out. Was it a real? And I think I agree with. I think it was. Bagels Cosell and Jim as well, who were saying that it would take 4 to 5 years to get a player up to Kreider's speed. So I think we got that guy now, and he's in the prime of his career.
But sorry, we got the next best thing. We traded away Brady Shea and that horrendous contract. We still got a first-round pick back, and I don't get why people are complaining about Brady Shea being gone, considering we have plenty of premier defensemen, Ryan Lindgren, Adam Fox. I think that we bring Tony D back. I think that would be great for the Rangers. And Trouba, obviously. There's plenty to work with here.
I agree.
I totally agree with you. I think
and all of those names you mentioned, they're all better than Brady Shea. Every one of them is better than Brady Shea.
Yeah, absolutely. At this point,
Adam Fox has been in the league 3 months. He's better than Brady Shea.
I mean, at this point, the next step you go from here is you extend Ryan Lindgren, considering the fact that he's got free agency next year. So we're better off giving him another 1-2 years from here, especially considering that advance will help him pay for the face right here.
Well, yes, I agree. I think that the Rangers, as far as I'm concerned, had a wonderful trading deadline. The Brady Shea deal, I think the people that feel that it was a bad move is because who is going to replace them, and also him, and also people get used to people. Like, I mean, Brady Shea wasn't a bad guy. He wasn't a dick that we didn't want out. He was a good guy. And people hate change. They're resistant to change. But if you look at the economics of thing, and that's really what you got to do, and you got to look at the player and what he was bringing night after night. Hey, if us nut jobs can realize that Brady Shea stinks, and the coaching staff is like, and the management is also saying, we got to get rid of this contract. This guy really isn't worth it. They're the ones who made the decision. Us three didn't make the decision, which, if I may add, this gives me more inspiration for the Rangers going forward, because it seems like us fans and the management are in sync. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to have to cut to you right there. Part of the fan base is in sync. The pedestrian fans are a little behind the 8 ball there. They're still struggling at the idea of, we traded this young guy, Brady Shea. He's only, 26? Oh, Joe. But I just want to cut into one point there, which is that people are bringing up all the bad trades and then some that have been made. But think about this. Jeff Gorton basically traded Kevin Hayes, who was going to get $7 million for Jacob Trouba, and to throw just a little extra in there, we got Brandon Lemieux out of it. How do you not frame that as one of the best trades in Ranger history?
Well, but Ranger fans too, they live in the Ranger bubble. Go look at any team in the league, and they've all got their share of misses on trades. I mean, they don't all work out. And New York sports fan here makes a good point that I put up on the screen. Basically, the Rangers traded Brady Shea and 2 second-round picks for Adam Fox and a first-round pick. Take that.
Yeah. That's a great look there. Well, so I think predominantly the trades work out. I guess people just, I don't know. I guess there's going to be so many. It's, I guess, just a product of what the internet and social media is today. Everybody has an opinion, and a lot of them are wrong.
Most of them are garbage.
They're garbage. And you know, it's just like anything. There's well-informed and there's not so well-informed, and or just strictly emotional people that are just, it's all about emotions, or it's all about not budging on a position. They've always hated a guy. They're never turning around on it. They always loved the guy. They're never turning around. They're going to stand their ground. They're going down with the ship. I mean, I certainly could have done that with Tony DeAngelo. I did not like Tony DeAngelo when he first came to the Rangers.
I agree. I
was not a fan. I was not a fan of him. I thought he was a troubled youth, a reclamation project. But it was kind of the best marriage. You had a coach who got to him, and a coach that's a hands-on coach, and it was a perfect storm. And now I love Tony DeAngelo. I think he's an excellent defenseman. I'm not going to sit here and I'm wrong. I'm wrong like everybody else. But you have a lot of that on the internet where people are never going to budge on their positions. And then when they they have no ammunition, they're just going to troll you. So, I mean, that's just basically what it is.
I mean,
it's not, excuse me, kind of real quick. It's not just players. We've seen it with coaches too. There were people that loved John Tortorella, and there were people that hated John Tortorella, and nothing you could say is going to change their mind. The same thing with AV, same thing with this coach. I don't understand. I still don't understand how anybody could not like the job this coach has done with this team.
Remember, there was, he's not the right coach. He's not like right before the All-Star break. We started hearing this that he was not the right coach for this team. They were going in the wrong direction. There's still people. Anytime Tortorella gets into a fight when he's the Blue Jackets coach, I miss him. What do you miss? Staying in your own zone for 40 minutes and getting every defenseman hurt, broken wrists. 1-0 games. That's what you miss. So everybody's got opinions. That's it.
And Girardi's going to be crippled by the time he's 45. Ask him if he misses playing for John Tortorella.
Took like 5 years off Baba Shampoi's goaltending there, stopping all those shots.
That reminds me. How do you spell crocodile to yours? HANK. Seriously.
Oh boy,
man.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you the real reason why our own Baba Shampoo misses Brady because now he has one less defenseman to blame.
Right. Oh, he'll find another one. He'll be and the Ranger fan of
Baba Shampoo, Baba Shampoo tends the Rangers goal.
Play the Dubinsky song next.
He's long gone.
Oh my god!
Go ahead.
No, I will say though, the thing I really like about dealing shit away is that we actually have a shot to bring back guys like Tony D and Strome and Jen's favorite Lemieux. I mean, I if we can at least bring back 2 out of 3 of those guys, I'm happy. Shit, if we bring back 1 out of 3. I would be so happy, but I know there's cap issues, and I'm sure Costa can provide a full report.
Oh, he's crunching the numbers right now. It's all about the money.
Costa, the crazy accountant.
Yes, also known as Gus, which is his real name. That's what he goes by in the streets, the mean streets of Center Reach.
What?
Gus? Yes.
That's not his real name, is it?
I think that's the American translation of what his first name is.
Oh, never knew that.
Yeah, I think he said something to me.
Man of mystery.
He's an international man of mystery.
Yes, that he is. All right, Connor, anything else? We're going to wrap this up. I think it's midnight.
No, just that I will see you guys effectively next month. It's gonna be a hell of a time, the way it always is.
Of
and
course.
I'll just say two things to cut it off, which is that I thought this team would be a playoff team, and we're white hot and 4 points out. And then also, I'm in disagreement with you guys. I still think Mika deserves that C, and I'm sticking with that.
Okay, that's fine. I don't think that's a bad choice.
Yeah, I don't think it's a bad. I'm fine either way. All right.
All right, Connor.
Good night, Connor.
We'll talk
Take
to you
it
soon.
easy, guys.
All right.
Andy Pettit live.
All right. This has been a long show. Ladies and gentlemen, you get this for free.
2 hours and 6 minutes by my
Yeah.
or around that.
All right. Anything else? Or are you done? I'm done.
Subscribe to Patreon. Go to that website underneath.
Yes.
Keep this show alive and on the air.
Yes.
We're reaching all kinds of-
www.patreon.com.
China, Norway, the good old USA, the good old Canada, the good old everywhere. YouTube.
England.
Subscribe to this channel. Hit that ding, 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 ding. You'll be notified when the ding dongs are on the air.
We had almost 60 live. We had, I think, 58 live viewers tonight, which is pretty
very
good.
good.
We were topping out around 25 on Facebook, so we had a nice crowd. Lots of comments here in the chat. You guys are the best. We love you.
Yep, we love you guys, and we're going to keep them coming. Hopefully, we can do some playoff broadcasts. I think it was a good day for the New York Rangers.
I agree. We just got to get Igor healthy now. All right, that wraps it up. We will see you guys Saturday afternoon. Let's say we'll go for 3 o'clock. How's that? 3 o'clock?
Sounds good to me. I should be just waking up.
Yeah. All right, we'll see you guys Saturday, and then we'll be back Wednesday. All right. Thanks to everybody for being here. Thanks to Bagels, Cosell, and Rock, and everybody. Eddie, always a pleasure.
It's been Phantasmo, baby.
All right, we'll see you guys in a few days. Let's go, Rangers. We love you. Good night, everybody.
Good night.